Alrighty, YouTubers, welcome to another video. Little Gizzy is thirsty. Playing Silent Hill 2 right now. Super fun game. I'm about 11 hours in. I'm at the prison right now. My only complaint I would say on that game is it's just so dark. I swear the entire game you just can't see anything. You're just like looking through a tiny flashlight, which adds to that whole psychological horror, type thing, but it's also kind of annoying the fact that it's like the whole game is just like pitch black or it's foggy. It's just really the lighting kind of is annoying. So, yeah, we want to go ahead and do a video for you guys, do another review. So, if memory serves me correctly, we are now in the Marvel DC room. It's kind of crazy. I get these Facebook memories of like, my old displays back when this was nothing but Stuvas here. You had some PAX units here. We had Lord of the Rings. And over here, I did like King Kong, Warcraft. I did Transformers Top Shelf with Marvel underneath. And I had like little cubes for each of my displays. Now, I did like the cubes in what I did. Like Thor with the hammer, for example. I had the Sideshow Captain America next to the helmet, and I liked that. I had the old Iron Man Mark III by Sideshow, which is a really good statue. And sometimes, ultimately my displays have improved drastically. The pieces have improved drastically, but I still did love my old displays. I thought they were still killer. I had a lot of cool pieces, and I still really enjoyed, that display and setup. But right now my collection is the best it's ever been. Without a doubt, it's the best it's ever been. So, yeah, it definitely is in its best right now. There are a few displays I miss, but, sometimes you just have to make those sacrifices. But today we're going to be checking out the Imaginarium Hulkbuster. So I bought this from a guy in Idaho. He drove to my house. Now I'm going to be honest, the guy was like stinky, fat, super ugly. This thing hadn't been dusted once, and it's just like a complete utter loser. I'm sorry, bro, if you're watching this, but dude, shower, dust your statues, go to the gym. I could not believe him when he pulled up to my house. I'm like, oh my gosh. So, but yeah, I bought off him. I paid $2,500, and he drove it to my house. And so we got it. Freaking wife's calling me. We got it. At the time, there was no Queen Hulkbuster. This was the definite Hulkbuster at the time. Now, there's no doubt that Queen is the superior Hulkbuster between the two. However, Queen is severely overscaled. This one scales much better with this Marvel quarter scale line I do have. It fits underneath bottom garage shelf. It does include a plethora of switch outs. However, I have kept it this exact same pose the entire time because I like it the best. I like this pose. I think it looks great. It's a nice action pose. So I do like the pose quite a bit. It looks like he's defending with that arm, about to punch with that arm. So I think in general it pairs really good with this Sideshow Hulk maquette, from also Age of Ultron. So they just pair really good. The only thing that doesn't match per se is the bases. They are both like kind of roads, but they just look quite a bit different. But nevertheless, I still think they pair really great. In a perfect world, I'd have them squared off next to each other, but this will do. But in general, let's check out this base. So it is like a broken up road base. Lots of like dirt, and the road is like a darker, almost black type road. Lots of texture. Where that one you can see is a little bit different, like pavement type, almost like the street. Where this is more like a traditional road that's just been broken up from their battle. The base is okay. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I probably prefer Queen's base versus this one. I would say the base is probably the weakest point. The paint app color choice I would have changed, and just in general I would have added more to it. So I think the base could definitely be improved. I'd probably give this base a 5 out of 10. Now, when you come to Hulkbuster himself, he is definitely a big boy. And he does light up via an AC adapter, which is nice. There's a button in the back. We'll press that in a sec. I do have it plugged in. But let's check out all the different details on this guy. He does have a decent amount of battle damage, not a ton like Queen's. You know, Queen had like this entire chest like broken. This one just has like a few scuff marks. You know, like right there, you can see some like, you know, like this is obviously at the beginning of the battle. He does come with the like jackhammer arm as well, but it sticks out a ton at Block Hulk, so I don't display that arm. You know, again, it is pretty big. Like these hands are about the size of a human hand. So definitely big. And overall, I do like the paint app. You know, like I said, Queen's is better. But overall, I still think the paint app is great. The detail is great. It does have a detailed arc reactor right there. Check it out. And he does include light up. Let me turn it on. It's a button back here. So light up is blue on this guy. And it comes in the hands. Both hands, there, and I'll try to camera angle this shiz if I can get it right here on the back. So, and also the knees. The Queen's was a white light. This one is blue. I don't mind the blue. It's fine because sometimes in the movie it looks blue or white. There it is. You can see even like a detailed, like almost arc reactor look in the hands. I like the fact the light up is, you know, one button with an AC adapter. You can connect it to a system, light it up. It's definitely pretty cool light up. Queen did never light up on the hands, which was kind of disappointing. They should have included that feature. Even if it's a fist, you should still include, like this is a fist, but it still has light up. So Queen definitely should have done that. You know, in terms of just like this piece in general, you know, it is a little outdated, but not a ton, if you know what I mean. Like, especially when you compare it to Queen's, it's like, yeah, Queen's is definitely quite a bit better like intricacy, you know, like intricate detail, the paint app, just more like smaller parts, you know, stuff like that. You know, this piece comes apart at the arms and just, you know, it's similar to, kind of to Queen, but has less parts. Really, the arms come off, then the body's one whole piece, then the base. It is very heavy. It weighs probably 70 pounds. So it is a pain in the butt to like get in this garage shelf. You know, comes in 2 big boxes. In terms of price, so like I said, I paid $2,500. That was kind of the going price like 4 or 5 years ago when it came out. Now you can get Queens. Sometimes I see Queens for as low as $3,000 or even $2,500. I've seen it on Facebook for $2,500 local pickup. But typically you can get Queens for $3,000. Now, Queen is no doubt bigger, better paint app, better detail. However, like I said, the scaling is off. That is the biggest reason I choose this guy over Queen, is due to scaling and the fact it fits bottom garage shelf with my entire display. Now, if Queen is on a standalone, I mean, even the Mark 43 next to the Queen, that Mark 43 was underscaled, but then Hulkbuster is overscaled. So the pair, they look cool, but also the scaling is way off on both. I think the Mark 43 actually pairs better with this guy than it did Queen because the scaling's a little bit better. I still think that Mark 43 was underscaled though. You know, that is a more appropriate scaling, but that's obviously from Civil War, different costume. Overall, I'd probably give this statue an 8 out of 10. Value, I'd probably put it at $1,750. $1,750 is what I'd put it for now. You know, I think it has gone down in value because of Queen's, and the fact Queen's has also gone down in value because Queen retailed at $3,800 and now it goes for like $3,000 to $2,500. So I think Queen, they both have been devalued, and one of the biggest reasons as well is just the MCU is kind of dead right now. You know, Iron Man's gone, Hulkbuster's gone, the hype is over. You know, so I think hype really determines a statue's value, especially at that time. You know, there are certain classics that no matter what, they're just going to be like great, like, you know, Terminator or Star Wars, like the OG Star Wars. Marvel, it's kind of hard to say what the future holds. For me personally, I think the Infinity Saga is the greatest series of movies ever created. Infinity War and Endgame, the 2 greatest movies. So for me, they are like, you know, the greatest things ever for me. So, you know, I definitely love my Marvel setup. Now, I know people have asked, would you upgrade to third scale? I would if I could and if Queen committed, but Queen's already lost the license. They've only done Hulk and Iron Man. They're not making any more. So I'm not going to start that line. I do really like the, Iron Man and Hulk, but I don't just want two. If I'm going to ever upgrade to, let's say, third scale, I need like a full line. Similar to how like Prime 1 did the DC Justice League. Prior to me collecting the 1/3 Justice League, I was all quarter scale for DC. But then Prime 1 revealed the entire line at once, which blew my freaking mind. And I was immediately like, I'm going all in. I like when companies do that. When Queen just reveals like two and then all of a sudden, boom, license gone and, whatnot. Their Iron Man is shipping. It looks really good. I think it'd be a great just one-off piece. I'd probably prefer the Iron Man over the Hulk. I think Iron Man just looks cooler. Plus, it's a lot cheaper. However, I got my half-scale one, which I do prefer the pose. And I got it for free, and I'm not spending all that money to get the third scale Iron Man. I do like it a lot, but overall, like I said, this is slightly outdated, but still a great piece, and it scales really good with quarter scale. So I think overall, it's still a great statue. I'm happy with it. The only way I would sell this is if I like sold my entire Marvel setup, and I'd only sell that on two occasions. One, I went all in 1/3. Let's say Prime 1 gets Marvel license, they do the entire Avengers in 1/3. Okay, yeah, I'll sell my entire Marvel 1/4 at that time, then buy the entire Prime 1 line. That is one example of me selling it. The other is just simply I'm selling my entire statue collection, getting out of collecting entirely. I'm retiring to Philippines or something like that. Then I would sell it. Until then, these are kind of like going to stay with me for the next 20 to 30 years or until an earthquake or World War III happens. So, yeah, overall, I still really like this Hulkbuster. It's a great piece, folks. If you can get it $1,500 to $1,750 and you got other quarter scale you want to pair it with, definitely pick it up. Let me know what you guys think of this Hulkbuster. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.